I fill this with water only to the very, very top edge of however much I have in there. So let's say I have a cup and a half in here. I do a cup and a half of water. That's usually what I do. If you're doing something you want to make, let's say I have this, 2 more people join our campfire, and now we're having cowboy pasta stew. Then I'll add a little bit more powdered tomato, and then I'll go ahead and add, well, they say 2 inches above. Depends on how many people I'm adding, how thin we need this to go. And I'll probably snap the noodles in half, and I'll probably cut the beans in half. So whatever we need to do. So if you're doing a stew, you can add 2 inches above, and then it'll give you a little bit juicier. And again, you can add however much water you need. On your fruits, do not boil those unless you're going to use them in a pie or inside muffins or bread. Those are in cold water, and you want to be very careful, like especially when you're doing peaches. Don't put 2 peaches in a cup of water. You're going to have awesome peach water and very bland peaches. So just only enough water to rehydrate what's there. Less is more, and you can always add. But someone, was it Brent? Which is it? He was here earlier.
Brent.
There you go. He was saying that he had turkey that was rehydrating, and he let it go 30 whole minutes. It was not done. And I was like, well, sure. He said it was still a little chewy. It was good. But he was out camping, and he was trying to like conserve fuel, and I was like, I understand. On those things, crock pot them, put them on low, throw all your stuff in, let it cook for a couple hours. It's great. You know, if you need to speed, do it. Do it in your crock pot for an hour.
So
I always do an hour. Yes.
Back to the number 10 cans, when you open
Yes.
those and you put them in, say, the food saver, would I
Yes.
need to use an oxygen pack
In the
with
food
that?
saver, you don't,
Okay.
because it automatically sucks all the oxygen out and it forms to the food. For a Mylar bag, because you don't use this on the machine that actually sucks the air out, you will do it, so it's doing it all internally. So, and I just leave those on my counter, go in the next morning, see which ones have sealed. If some didn't seal, likely the seal was obstructed in some way, and then I just go ahead and cut it and reseal it. So, and usually the oxygen absorber, unless it's dead, is still fine. It just didn't activate or whatever. So.
Okay, so on the oxygen absorber, so you open one of those jars that has an oxygen
Yes.
absorber in it. It's done. You have to put a new one in.
No. You can open one of these jars. If your kids open them, I say 12 times. If you open it 20 times, because we don't linger, they always take stick there, put it out on the table, mill around with stuff, you know. So I'd say about 20 times. Just watch it. When this top stops popping down, why I use these and not a plastic lid is I want to know. So I want to know. But please, if you use plastic like this, you decide that you want to do some of these, don't use them in a pressure can or wherever they will melt. So. However, when they fall down in an earthquake, you feel like, yeah. And you know those number 2 size cans that like the big peaches come in, or the big pears? If there's some that are heavy, like I like to put my beans in here, because I'll use a cup of beans all the time, and this holds about 3 to 3.5 cups of any item. So what I like to do is have, so I know I can use it 3 times before I need to refill it. Those are heavier. I don't want this to fall down and then break, or let's say it goes out in public, it's my phone, and it's cold. Sorry, I thought I put it on news. That's afraid it was mine. Sorry, that's on film now. That's on film now. Okay. Yeah.
So you don't really have to, like when you get them out of the huge 100 number bag or whatever, you don't have to like hurry up and put them in there.
I do this. I go ahead and straight
Because
put
at
them
the
in.
cannery, they tell you, you know, hurry up and put it in there and seal it.
Well, they
and
tell
then
you,
once you
go
open
on a
it, you're
tray,
done.
and then start packaging stuff, and you just feel like you're racing against the
Yeah.
clock. I put them in here, I open the top, pull one out, put it in my Mylar bag, seal it.
Then you can just
Drop
close
it
that
here.
back up and it seals itself
Close
anyway.
this back up,
Yes.
seals right back up. When it stops sealing, that you know it's dead. Or if you take it, and you know how like they're nice and pliable, if you get one that feels like it's almost like sand and it's all crunchy, it's probably dead. But try it in something. Put it in something and see if the top goes down. Now, it's going to be just like anything else that you can. It's going to take a couple minutes. Some people will go, oh, I put an oxygen absorber in there, and 2 minutes later, it was not done. Put them on your counter, let them plink down, and then put them back. So, but again, so that way you're using your butter powders, or I use a lot of, if something calls for butter in cooking, if I don't have an alternative I'm using, then I'm going to use my butter powder, trying to, especially if I'm doing a naughty dessert, so then I'll just use that. So that way I'm rotating my butter powder. I'm rotating all the things that we're supposed to rotate, because I'm using them in containers that are easy to use, or a food saver, because you can easily cut that open, use what you need out of it, seal it right back up. Love that. It's amazing. And so, Katie, you may just need to give me a buzz in, or we may need to hook you up with, who here has a food saver and uses it
I
all the
wonder
time?
if you could use the food saver sealer lid with the plastic jars.
She said you could.
I haven't tried it. I wonder. I don't know if it'll. But you could probably stop it
if it will
part of the
crush
way
it in.
then. Yeah, because it will try to take every single
Yeah.
ounce of the air out.
You could
So,
stop it.
yeah, just try it. And then email me. Let me know so that I can share with the next class. And someone did say in one of our classes that she used the Mylar bag and put it in her food saver.
Use them, food saver.
So I haven't done it myself because I don't have one. And so I was like, wow,
You can use
that's
it in
awesome.
food saver,
That's what
Mylar?
she does. And it seals it. You've done it? Awesome. And again, it's not going to totally form to fit the food because it is a thicker
You
gauge.
could actually use any bag, like if you have a potato chip bag or something, and the tops
Yeah.
are still pretty good.
Non-porous.
Stick it in, and they'll fill it
Non-porous,
right
love
back up.
that.
Yeah.
All my friends that have one use it for potato chips.
Oh, really?
So,
Don't set
Why
that
don't
here.
she-
Something else, one more thing
Yeah.
you need to leave out on
I
your
know,
calendar.
seriously. Yeah, it's so true. Actually, if you have that, you can just, that's nice because that goes away. But if you have a dehydrator, you might want to put an alarm on it telling you to go use it if it's not in the same
Yeah.
room. I have friends who put it in the laundry room or whatever. The only time I tell you to take it outside and do something outside with it is if you're doing garlic or onions. Don't do that in your house unless you just love garlic. Because you'll just be like, so I put it outside and I'll do 4 trays of garlic and 5 trays of onions, blow it out. And again, how I mostly do that, open up a bag of minced onions, dump it on there. What I love about freezer bags of fruits and vegetables, they're already processed for you. For 69 cents a pound, I can open it, dump it. Now if you're worried about if you've got issues, you can't have a lot of sodium or whatever, watch the sodium numbers. They're usually pretty good, or go organic. So you're going to pay about $1 more. Cut it open, dump it out. I can do 9 pounds of vegetables. Every time I go to the grocery store, I buy 9 pounds of something mixed, the same, whatever I'm in the mood for. If I want to do corn that month, I'm like, I'm doing corn. I go shopping 2 times a month. I grab 9 pounds of whatever I'm going to do, a fruit or a vegetable. I take them, I bust them open, I dump them on there, put them all in, shut the lid, don't look at it until the next morning. I now have 9 pounds of food that I've put down that will all work in a soup. So sometimes I'll go
Yeah,
ahead
but
and
you
do...
eat soup every day?
No, but for my emergency preparedness plans, I have a breakfast, a lunch that will be our main meal of the day, which is a more hearty meal, and then for our light meal of the day, which we'll do in the evening, it's a soup with a bread of some sort or whatever we decide to do. So, and also, again, if your neighbors come knocking on the door in an emergency, what is easy to give them? Soup. Because you can go buy broth in the granulated form, however you like it, low sodium, organic, whatever, and then add a little bit of that with some pasta. And Alyssa, again, cook that pasta ahead of time, throw it in the dehydrator like this, and now it's going to cook up in 5 minutes flat. So,
I have a question. You said broth in the dehydrated form. Could you take like a homemade chicken stock and dehydrate it? I mean, it's just water.
that stuff, not really, because again, you're just adding powder to it, so it's not worth it.
No, I'm just saying if you had your own, not something like when you have the day after Thanksgiving when you make that turkey carcass soup stock stuff. And you can boil
I
up a
just
whole
don't,
stock.
because all the water dehydrates out when you have
Stop.
like you're just chipping. If you can pop enough stuff up and you can rehydrate it, great. I just don't, unless it's a thick gravy, I just don't do it. And even gravies, I just don't do it because you mix it in the boiling water for 5 minutes and you're good to go. So, okay, all right, we're going to wrap out. Are there any other burning questions? You are welcome to email me. My email is on the bottom of those pages. I did put my phone number because some people are just not, they don't like email, and that's okay. They just want to ask their quick question. Call me. It's okay. If you leave a voicemail, I'll call you back. There was a gal last class I did in Sandy, and she called me up. My daughter's going to a backpacking trip like in 4 days. We have the dehydrator. We have no recipes. It's 911, 911. I just literally put my book in a package. It got to her the next day. They made all their meals. She put it in a package, shipped it back. We were good to go. And they had a great time, and they were just amazed at how, again, 3 ounces is the weight of that food. That's amazing. I mean, a pound of food is like 7 meals. I mean, it's a lot of meals that you could do on that. Are there any other burning questions before we wrap out? Yes.
What's the cost to run that dehydrator all the time?
Okay, there's conflicting information, conflicting. However, the company will tell you this, about $6 a year if you run it every single day. I will tell you now I've seen no noticeable spikes in my bill. However, we have a friend who's all about solar power and et cetera, and he's like, I don't believe that. So I recently purchased one of those like watt-hour machines that tells you how many kilowatt hours that you plug in, then you plug your appliance into it. So I'm going to have some accurate data for you soon. So I told him